Hi, boys and girls. We're in Mrs. Becker's kitchen again, which means it's time for some science. And remember, scientists try to tell us why things work the way they do or why things are the way they are. And they do that by asking questions. They ask a question and then they make a prediction. And predict means they try to guess what will happen. Then scientists do experiments, and during the experiments, they observe, which means they watch to see what happens. And then finally, at the end, they draw conclusions, which means they try to tell you the answer to the question that they asked way back at the beginning. So today, our question is, can we make these kernels of corn move when they're put into one of these glasses? All right. And we're talking about corn because corn is one of the foods that the Native Americans helped the first people who celebrated Thanksgiving, the Pilgrims, learn to grow. So the Native Americans helped the Pilgrims learn to grow corn. And I don't know about you, but I have a special corn dish that I make for Thanksgiving. It's a creamed corn casserole, and it's very, very good. So that's why we're using corn today, and we're going to see if we can make the corn move. Now, first of all, I have a glass of water, and actually I have more than one glass of water. How many glasses do I have? 1, 2, 3. So I have 3 glasses of water. And we're going to put something different in each one of the glasses, and we'll see if we can make the corn move. Now, before I even do that, I am going to put some food coloring in the glasses just so that you can see things a little bit better. And I chose some yellow, so I'm going to put a couple drops here, 1, 2 here. Oh, that's probably quite a bit. And I'm going to stir them around with a spoon, or stir the drops around with a spoon, just so you can see what color do we have here. We have a yellow. There you go. Then you can see the water better, can't you? All right. So we've got that finished. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is I think we'll start over here. We're going to be using some baking soda. And I'm going to put some baking soda in this water. And then I'm going to put some kernels of corn in there. And we'll see if the baking soda makes the kernels of corn move. Okay? So let me get a tablespoon. That's what we call this, right? A measuring spoon. You've been working a little bit with measuring spoons at preschool with corn the past week or so. So I'm going to put 1 tablespoon of baking soda in here, and I'll stir it up. And oh my goodness, what happens to the baking soda? Let's see. Is it still powdery? Can you tell? Is it still powdery? Oh my goodness, it's a liquid now. Okay, so we're going to let that sit there for a moment. All right. You see what's happening there? Okay, you can still see the yellow color, can't you? And in just a second, it'll probably clear up a little bit more so we can see it even better. All right, now, before I do anything, do you think that when I put the corn in this glass with the baking soda, do you think that the corn will move? How many of you think it will move? And how many of you think it won't move? There's our prediction, okay? So I'm going to take some kernels of corn. I'm going to put them in here. Can you see what's happening? I know it's hard to see. Just a second. I'll move it up here. Do you see what's happening? Where did they go? All right, they went to the bottom, okay? Now, if I stir it, will they come back up to the top? Let's find out. Did they come to the top, or are they staying at the bottom? I bet that's hard for you to see. Let me move the camera. You know how good Mrs. Becker does this. Look, the corn still is at the bottom. So if you said the corn would move with the baking soda, that isn't what happened, but if you said it wouldn't move, you had the right prediction. But remember, it doesn't matter if we're right or wrong. We're just making guesses and we're trying to see what happened. So it's okay if we didn't get it exactly right. Okay, then I'm going to come over to this cup. And in this cup, we're going to add some vinegar. All right, we'll put some vinegar in here. And I think I'll go with maybe two, let me rinse this off. I think we'll go with 2 tablespoons of vinegar. So I have to do this. There's 1. And here's 2. And just like I did with the baking soda, I'm going to stir it up. Okay. All right. Now, what do you think will happen? When I put the corn in, will the corn move or will it stay at the bottom? How many of you think it will move? And how many of you think it will stay at the bottom? All right, let's see what happens. I'll put some in. Okay, so I have some in. I'm going to stir it up just to make sure. Okay, spoon out. All right, what happened? Can you see? Oh my goodness, it stayed at the bottom. It didn't move. So if you said it was going to move, well, it didn't move with the vinegar. If you said it wasn't going to move, well, you were right. But again, it doesn't make any difference. That's how we learn. We figure out what works and what doesn't, and that's how we learn. All right, now in this middle cup, I'm going to change things up a little bit more. I'm going to put baking soda and vinegar in there, and we'll see what happens, okay? All right, so I'm going to start with the baking soda. Well, it's probably easier to do it this way. I don't want to dump the whole box of baking soda in there. That would be fun. All right, so I'm going to put a tablespoon. All right, and just like I did before, let's stir it around a little bit. I have to wash something off first here, though. All right, okay, here we go. Stir it around. Ooh, what happens to that baking soda? Remember, it was powdery, and now it's not anymore. All right. And then now, I'm going to put some vinegar in. And I have to wash some things off again. A lot of washing and drying today. All right, so now I'm going to put some vinegar in. And you know what? Before I do that, I'm going to put some of our corn in. All right. And it's a little harder to see in the baking soda. What happens, I'll put quite a bit in. I have a lot left over. All right. So do you see the corn at the bottom? Yeah. All right. Maybe I'll put a few more. Might as well. All right. So we already know that it's not going to do anything with just the baking soda in it. Okay. Now, before I put the vinegar in, do you think the corn will move when we have baking soda and vinegar in here? All right. So how many of you think it will move when we put both of them in? And then how many of you think it's not going to work? It's not going to move. All right. So we already have the baking soda in. I'm going to put a couple of tablespoons. That's 2 tablespoons. Ooh, did you see what happened there? Kind of was fizzing on me. I'm going to go 2. Oh, did you see the fizz there? You know what? I'll put a little bit more. And then I'm going to move the camera so you can see this better. Ready? And do it this way. Ooh, look at that fizz going. Whoa, what do you see happening here? Do you see some bubbles? Oh my goodness, there's some bubbles. There's my corn. All right, now just as I did with the others, I'm going to go ahead and stir this up. Ooh, what's going on? You guys see what's happening? Do you see what's happening? Oh my goodness, the corn came to the top. Do you see that? Do you see how the corn came to the top? Oh, there's some corn right there at the top. Oh my goodness. Look, the corn's moving up and down. I'm going to stir again. I don't even need to stir. Stir again. Look at that corn go. Oh, the corn's moving. Look at that. Oh, a whole big group of corn, and it gets to the top. Oh, and then it's going down. Let's see if it does anything else. Oh my goodness, it's moving down there. Do you see all the bubbles? Oh, look, there it goes. There it goes. There goes the corn to the top, and now it's going down. Let's do it. We'll see if it does it one more time for us. See all those bubbles? Looks like it might be moving again. Let's see. I see some more bubbles. Oh, lots of bubbles. There goes some corn. So with the vinegar and the baking soda, we were able to get the corn to move. We call it dancing corn. So now we have to go, why did it move? There it goes again. Why did the corn move? It didn't move when we had just the baking soda. Actually, this was just the baking soda. It didn't move when we had just the vinegar, but it did move when we did what? We put them both together. You just got to see something called a chemical reaction. Can you say chemical? And can you say reaction? And that's from a part of science called chemistry. Can you say chemistry? Oh, look, they're still moving. And what happened is the baking soda and the vinegar mixed. And that's the reaction. And the mixture is all those bubbles. And the bubbles grab onto the corn, and then the corn's able to go up. And do you know what happens when the corn gets to the top? And with the bubbles, they pop. And then the corn goes back down. And then all the bubbles come around again, and then the corn goes up and pop down, up and down, up and down. Oh, let's see if it does it a little bit more. I see it getting ready to go. Are you ready? There it goes. My goodness. And you know what? Oh, I think it's ready to go again. I can get it to go again. Oh, there's some more. So these little kernels of corn all have lots of bubbles around them. And that's what causes them to be able to move. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this again. It's not the stirring that does it. It just lets things mix and lets those bubbles form and get around the kernels of corn. And then the kernels of corn move. And that's how we have dancing corn. And you know what you can do if you want to keep doing this all day long? Just keep adding a little bit more vinegar. Just keep adding a little bit more vinegar. How about if I do that right now? And corn will dance a long, long time. Did you see all those bubbles there? And I'm going to stir it because I added more. You see them going up, swirling up and up and up? Look at them go. Oh my goodness, isn't that fun? I could sit here and watch it all afternoon, but I probably shouldn't. All right, boys and girls, wasn't that fun? Being able to see some dancing corn. Look at that big amount of corn at the top right now, and it's going to go up and down. There you go. All right, and you can do this at home. Moms and dads, start out by filling a glass with water, then put a tablespoon of baking soda in, and then you start with maybe 2 or 3 tablespoons of vinegar. Put the corn in and see what happens. And you know what? You can try this with other foods that we have at Thanksgiving. For example, maybe some cranberries would work, or whatever you have. You can try it and see what happens. All right. Thanks for watching our science lesson for Thanksgiving, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye, boys and girls.